What up? It's Jimmy from Odds.com. This is a clip from our big NBA show. If you want to check out the entire show, hit the link at the bottom of the screen. It's available exclusively on Odds.com. And okay, we move on. We move on to another game with a lot of moving parts and books very hesitant to do anything. No total out anywhere. That's Celtics Sixers. Celtics Sixers. Sixers open up as 5-point favorites. That moves to 5.5. And no total. So Celtics 8-4, 4-2 on the road. At the Sixers 9-5, 7-1 at home. We're at Wells Fargo Center, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Celtics in the last 5 games, 15th in pace at 100.3 possessions a game. Sixers 5th in pace at 102.56 possessions a game. I can't remember, at least in the last 2 or 3 years, for sure, if you were at a pace of 102.56 possessions a game, you were not in the top 5 of the NBA. They are clearly slowing down.
Right.
After a week off due to positive COVID test, the Celtics returned to smash the Magic by 27 points. Then 2 nights later, got beaten by 30 points by the Knicks on. Then 2 nights later, got beaten by 30 points by the Knicks on Sunday. Kemba Walker returned in the loss, 3 for 13 from the field, 1 of 8 from 3, scored just 9 points, and had 5 turnovers. And this isn't a situation where I think there's going to be a big improvement in the second game. I think it's going to be a slow, gradual improvement. I do not see him turning out in this spot. They played awful as a team. They shot 29.8% from the field, 15.2% from 3. Taco Fall, ankle, Langford, right wrist, Robert Williams, Carson Edwards, Jason Tatum are all out due to health and safety protocols. And Tatum is confirmed out. He may be back for this rematch on Friday. Sixers had their 2-game winning streak snapped in a 106-104 loss at Memphis on Saturday. They played without Joel Embiid, who's been dealing with right knee pain. He's expected back for this. Tobias Harris led the way offensively in the loss with 21 points, but he had just 3 rebounds and turned the ball over 5 times in the loss. If I was a Sixers fan, I would be losing patience in Tobias Harris because I see a little bit of Blake Griffin in him. I see him lollygagging around the perimeter like a little bitch. Seth Curry will be available to play on Wednesday night versus Celtics, so he will be back from COVID-19. Danny Green's the only player to start every game this year for the Sixers. This is a Sixers spot for me with Tatum out of the lineup, Embiid coming back. I wouldn't want it much more than 5.5, and I'm not sure if I'm going to pull the trigger. I want to hear both your breakdowns before I decide to do that. And then on Friday with Tatum back, maybe it's a Celtics spot in Boston.
Facts.
Let's go with Wham, Celtics, Sixers.
I feel the same way, bro. It has to be a Sixers spot. Having Curry coming back, Joel Embiid expected to play. I did see that Robert Williams was expected to play as well, try to counter Joel Embiid. But, I mean, it seems like they're rushing him out. So I honestly would lean Sixers here with you. They're averaging 122 points per game in the last 3 games. And it's having 27 assists the last 3 games as well. Shooting the 3 at 36%, and this Celtics team is shooting at 30% their last 3 games. So they've been slowing, not shooting as well. That has a lot to do with Jason Tatum being out. He's shooting really at a good clip this year. Having him out is a big reason why to fade him. So I would say fade the Sixers here. Is nothing that I'm going to make official. Just because, man, these guys seem a little scary. I bet with the Sixers, the actual game when Seth Curry got coronavirus, Embiid is super scared of the coronavirus. His girlfriend is pregnant. I just had a baby. I know how it feels, you know what I mean, to have it, all this stuff. But he's wearing hazmat suits, I heard, to the gym, all this good crazy stuff. So I'm probably going to hold out on betting with them, but I definitely think that the Sixers is definitely the spot here, bro.
That scares the shit out of me. Not COVID, because I've got a pregnant girl. Not COVID, but betting on a player who's showing up to the arena in hazmat suits, that scares the shit out of me. That makes me hesitant. Let's hear what Dutch Boy Fresh has to say about this Celtics Sixers.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I could only really lean the Celtics here, to be honest with you. The Celtics are 4-1 ATS in their last 5. They're actually 7-5 ATS on the season, and they're 4-1 straight up as a dog this year. In the last 3 games versus the Sixers, The Celtics have outscored them by 13 and 3-0. So and also 22-6 ATS as a dog. The Celtics are so in the last 28 games. So when you get the Celtics as a dog, I mean, you kind of just got to grab it and run with it. I think I might wait on it though, because I do believe a lot of money is going to come in. Just like everyone's thinking, oh, they're going to win this game with Tatum out. I think everyone's going to go to the window on this. So I like to be on the other side of that. So I'm probably going to wait and see what kind of number I get, and I'll probably be riding here with the Celtics, Jim.
Even without Tatum.
Yeah, they're deep. I mean, and everyone's gonna go to the window on like I mentioned with the Sixers, and the numbers scream to me the Celtics. And the Celtics, like you had mentioned, with coming off that ass whooping against New York, that was a straight ass whooping from start to finish. They're a great team, in my opinion. They have an above average coach, so I expect them to bounce back. And then to me, Philly's thinking, oh well, they're not going to have Tatum. We're going to go in there and just walk all over them. And then also we'll just do it next. We got a next 2 nights later. I believe it's in Philly as well. So I don't think Philly's going to be looking at this game the way Boston's going to be coming in looking at this game. And it's so I would take the points. And I'm going to wait. Hopefully I can get like a 6.5, maybe, if that's out there.
Oh, but, I think you're bang. I think you'll get a 7.
Yeah. So I'll run with that. I'll count on Jaylen Brown. Maybe Kemba to bounce back a little bit. He's had actually great numbers against the Sixers. But like you mentioned, he did have a horrible game, his first game back. I hope to see some improvement. But their whole team got their ass whooped, so I expect them to come out and just play better basketball. But I'll hold off on that. But I do expect Embiid to have a good game. Embiid is a nightmare matchup for Boston, whether it be Thies, Thompson, Williams, whoever you want to put down on there, Embiid's just going to eat up. He's averaging 31 and 11 his last 3 versus the Celtics, 25 and 11 on the season. I definitely expect him to get 30 plus against Boston tomorrow night.
Your breakdown makes a ton of sense, and look, you're hitting at 66.7% on the show. But with all that being said, I still want to fade the Celtics with Tatum out and with Kemba still with a lot of uncomfort on the court at this point.
Yeah, and Philadelphia's been money at home too. So I mean, I look at the points as a dog. Like I mentioned, they're 4-1 outright as a dog. So they're a scrappy team. This is a type of team you want to have with points. That's for sure.
Without a doubt. And I'm going to move on the Sixers full game -5.5, which I expect if I get cold feet, I can go for a middle. Or for at least a portion.
I'll hit 7 and you can win by 6, and we both hit the motherfucking window, bro.
Yeah, I would need a little more than 7, but I truly expect you'll get.
No, I'm saying I'll get 7. You have 5.5.
No, I feel you.
Lands at 6.
Then we
both win, and it's
feel
lovely.
You. But I think if I was going to go for a middle, I'd want a little more.
Right.
Than that.
Are you gonna lock in 5.5 right now?
I am. I'll bet it as soon as the show's over. But because I line shop for you guys, but I'll get whatever I get at Bet365. At Bet365 right now,
I'm seeing different shit than you guys. That's for sure. I don't know what I'm smoking over here. What y'all smoking, man?
Yeah, it's early. And you haven't made moves yet, so
nah.
So if
no
you
Embiid line, no Embiid prop.
No, because if I'm right, and if the Sixers with Seth back run roughshod, and we know that Embiid's dealing with knee pain, I don't play him in the 4th if they're way up.
I think he's always got some bullshit knee pain. That's just that's just Embiid. I expect this to be a somewhat close game. I think he'll be running in the 4th quarter.
I feel you. I'm moving on the Sixers -5.5. Dutch will be moving on the Celtics, but is waiting for a better number. It makes perfect sense to me.